right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Honcast here. Hon Tour Season 4 Cycle number 5 is officially upon us. That is right, day number 1 of the group stages is here. We are ready to kick things off with cycle number 5. This is the halfway point currently. Of course, 8 cycles in total. I guess you could say just over now the halfway point here of the regular season of Hon Tour Season 4. So definitely it's been a great run so far. Still a lot of heroes and newers to go over the next many months here, and it cannot be more excited for it, really. This format, the teams, the competition, it really has been a lot of fun here, and glad to get things continuing on with cycle number 5 now. Of course, 8 of the best teams in competitive Heroes and New Earth going at it. You do look at cycle 5, and these are the teams that we got here, of course, joined by, once again, a new team joining the ranks, Nightmare Knights, coming from the Gold Division. We'll see how they fare throughout these group stages especially. But Evo Corporation, they are going to be the returning champions here of cycle number 5. And I guess you could say those are kind of the storylines that we have going into it. But what a matchup we have to kick it off here. Bad Monkey Gaming going up against 2-0 in this, of course, 2-game series. We're back to that format. These are the group stages. So, again, they will be 2-game series here all throughout 14 games individually that each of these teams play. So enough of all that, though. The draft is plenty developed, but before we get into that, got to introduce my co-caster, of course, today. And today I'm going to be joined by Regroste. Regroste, how's it going, man?
Oh, pretty good. Excited for all the games today. There's some really good games today.
Yeah, a lot of complexity. I know you happen to be a fan of them, too, so we're going to be casting a couple of their series at least a little bit later on. But, of course, kicking it off here with BMG versus 2-0, obviously, two very solid, good teams going at it. Now, as we saw here with BMG, the interesting thing with them is that they do officially have a new 5-man roster. We saw it in the Time to Win event there a little bit. Teltuk is officially their new 5th player, again, replacing Root of Z, so that exchange finally happened here. Again, there's hints that something could be happening even at the beginning of the season, but didn't take place until now. So we'll see how that ultimately affects things. I think it's safe to say, though, it gives them a very solid jungle option now, whereas before they maybe necessarily didn't have that strength. So that is the benefit of bringing on Teltuk here. So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Super good player. I love watching Teltuk. He's really innovated, as we've seen the last couple of days with his jungle builds. So.
Yeah, that's right. Speaking of Parasite, too, I mean, Assassin Shroud Parasite is apparently a thing. So, yeah, I wonder if that's going to be a possibility here today as well.
New staple build.
Yeah, that would be something. All right, though, but let's talk about everything that we got going on here. The initial bans, it was Hellbringer, Tremble, Lodestone, and Wild Soul. We had Midas into Behemoth, Parasite into the Magnus, and Doctor followed by a Magebane counter pick, you could say. So what do we think here?
Yeah, I see just 6 strong heroes across the board. I don't think really anyone lost in this instance. I think everyone kind of got good heroes that they want. The team fighting for 2-0 at this point looks incredibly scary. But then the pickoff potential for the Legion team is incredibly scary. So there's a lot of things that both teams have that now they can work off of. And this should be a really exciting game just off the first 6 picks.
Yeah. No, definitely expecting good competition. Again, you want to start strong here, obviously, in the group stages. Every matchup really is proven to be, I mean, it's so important all throughout, really. We've had 4 completely different teams, I feel like, every single cycle make the playoffs, including the last one. And again, Evo Corporation winning it all. Their first one. We have had Complexity win the first and the third cycles, and then Fresh thrown in there as the second cycle winner. So we've already had 3 different winners, which, now that I think about it, is... Now, I'm going to say this kind of on the spot, but I think it's right that previous Hon Tour seasons, we've only had 2 winners before throughout the whole season. We've never had more than 2 cycle winners. And
I think you're right.
Yeah, like that kind of just hit me. Here we are in Season 4, 4 cycles down, and we already have 3 different winners coming at us. So, man, it's just a bunch of parity right now in the Hon scene. It's good to see. Torturer coming at us as a support option, followed by Rhapsody now. So the Torture support, Fusen has always been a fan of Torture support. going it here again?
I think the hero offers a lot. I think it's a really good tower pusher, and I think I don't want to say it's a good defensive support, but in kind of a weird way it is. It's if he gets jumped on, he can kind of sit in there with the impalement, with the stun. He offers a lot, and I think he's a really good at boxing out against certain heroes, especially like the Magnus or the Behe, whatever it ends up being, probably the Behe. So I think it is a strong hero pick here, and I actually like to see Torture. I think it's a good hero.
Yeah, Valkyrie now coming out as the 5th as well. This is get another kind of BMG flavor hero they like to run here.
Yeah, they have a very strong lineup. If they realistically, if they catch anyone with Doctor, Parasite, or Valkyrie, they're just going to melt instantly. And I think that's what they're going off of. They kind of just want a good pick-off team that can kind of win early game or get a good early game advantage and then take it to late game. Because they do actually have the late game with the Parasite, the Doctor, the Midas, and the Valkyrie.
We'll see how that works for them. Again, Boxy probably end up with that Valkyrie, of course. It is a little interesting. I feel like whenever we've seen the Valkyrie, it seems like a cursed is a hero that kind of goes with it hand in hand. But again, maybe this is a little bit of that the newer school, Bad Monkey Gaming. So something else you have to really remind yourself of, at least I have to, I assume others kind of do too, is that, again, Bad Monkey Gaming, this is the Season 3 champions, after all, of Han Tour. So I know the roster has obviously now changed a little bit even more. First off, replacing Kraken with Make, and now, of course, Root of Z with Teltuk. But still, I mean, they're the Season 3 champions here, so they still have to win a cycle, though, here in cycle number 4, or Season 4. So maybe this is their cycle.
Yeah, it could quite possibly be. I think they're a strong team. I think I don't want to say their downfall, but a lot of their thing is they rely heavily on Boxy. And it's kind of if Boxy does well, they all do well. If Boxy doesn't do well, they kind of slip a little bit. But I think if they can get out of that mindset of having to rely on Boxy, they could easily be one of the top two teams.
Absolutely. Again, they made a change here with the roster once again, so perhaps this will be that spark. And here in the time to win event, obviously they are in the playoffs as a number 1 seed. They got there out of Group A, so obviously feeling good with that here as far as the roster change so far. And again, now we'll see in Cycle 5 plenty of matches, of course, with the group stages to come. So here we are, game number 1 of the series now. What was the final pick? Okay, it was Cthulhu, actually, coming out for 2-0. So that they get the Parasite counter, you can call it, with that Hookem, of course. Take him out of creeps here. Pretty tanky team here on the Hoborn side. I guess several initiators more so. Yeah,
even then, they're still naturally kind of tanky heroes, but they can take team fights relatively early. They can even use the Mageman if they want to. Their team fight is so strong if they stack up whatsoever on each other. So Legion definitely needs to be careful. But I think they know what their strategy is, and that's to just start picking off heroes. And I think if they execute it like that, they'll do very well.
So here we are, again, in a pause to kick it off, possibly a strat pause of sorts, but a busy day for it. It's kind of interesting how the schedule worked out, with teams obviously requesting certain days off, and some of these group stages, it's definitely not an easy task to organize at all. So big shout out to Inkland with that said, the head admin, constantly doing a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that it works as well as possible for everyone. Today is a day filled with these 4 teams. I'll pull up the schedule here as a whole. So this is what we're looking at. Of course, 2-0 versus BMG here. Complexity and Mystery Gang are the other 2 teams. And essentially, they're all going to kind of intertwine here and play one another throughout the day. Now, I do have an update on that as well. I believe another streamer is casting the other match. I believe it's just another stream guy is actually casting the other series that we happen to not be. He's kind of a newer caster on the scene, so feel free to pull that up as well if you happen to want to watch the other match that we are not casting at the equal time, and you can check that out. So just a heads up there too. But here we are, back to our series now. And top lane, we're going to have a little bit of interaction possibly with Midas.
Whoa.
Wow. Rhapsody just runs right into them, but it sets up for Magnus. Here in comes the stun from Behemoth, but Boxy is going to be able to leap away. So, that got a little scary, though.
Yeah, definitely. And if Rhapsody would have maybe got his Q off, or got her Q off one more time, that could have been a dead Boxy very well. So, well played by Boxy, because he didn't even have it leveled there. So he leveled it and jumped over, and that was just very well played to live.
Yeah, the quick reactions on Boxy. Of course, going back to him, obviously BMG really relies on his success here, so going to be doing that with Valkyrie being played. And yeah, I do feel like whenever they pick up the Valkyrie as well, again, we mentioned the accursed kind of partner with him, but no matter what the partner is, it seems like he is going to end up in that suicide lane for them. No different here. More so an aggressive dual lane, I guess, is what I was meant to get at here. This case with the Torture, actually, so we'll see how that... what do you think of that decision? Is this going to work out well, you think, or...?
It should. Mage Bane kind of is a weak hero. The problem is it is a pseudo tri-lane from 2-0, and if they kind of overcommit, they do have the damage to kill Torture relatively easily. So if BMG plays the lane right, they should be okay, but if they overcommit, they might be in a lot of trouble.
Well, we'll keep an eye out up here. If there's going to be action, probably at this top lane is a good bet here with a lot of stun potential, and as you mentioned, the pseudo tri-lane up here. Of course, Cthulhu going to at least have to wait till level 2, if not further, before he's going to have a presence here as far as ganking goes. Has to hook him first. Wants to be able to farm effectively from the beginning. So, other matchups, though, we got Midas versus Magnus here in the middle lane. You see off the bat here, Maki and Midas. He's doing a good job positioning himself, getting some auto attacks against Zephyronte here on that Magnus. And going to be a back-and-forth battle for now. I mean, Magnus, yeah, you really can't underestimate. Obviously, again, it goes back to this hero. I know we haven't had Quincy for a while, but I still think the stat would stand up. This is still the most popular played hero by a lot on the competitive scene. And so this guy's been played plenty. And actually, top lane, Torture, he's going to be fine. Not sure what the plan there was. That was an odd timing.
They kind of just went. I don't know. I don't know what that was about.
I was curious there. I was like, it was like, okay, I feel like I'm level 2. I have a ganking tool now. Let's go. Weren't really paying attention to where the lane was set up though. So
pretty much, he just said we're gonna just give this a shot and see what happens.
Yeah. A little bit of backfire. Oh my God, middle lane. I happened to catch that actually. Make goes deep right there for Magnus. And eventually, I mean, I guess the elemental warp is a little bit longer than I would have expected. Yeah, 700 range right there. That was a nice catch onto Magnus, actually, to finish him off.
Yeah, and that's a really big kill. That's going to hurt Magnus a lot. He already kind of loses this matchup as it is. And dying like that early and giving up first blood is pretty rough. Oh, and bot lane.
Yeah, I caught that too. It's just simply chasing down the behemoth. Parasite coming in initially. Even infesting the creep at the last second to make sure he stays alive before the tower turned on to him. So good dive coming out, and obviously a strong 2-0 start now for Bad Monkey Gaming here. As far as the heroes that they kind of needed to win or are set up to have a good time are definitely having a good time now with Midas and Dr. Repulsor. So the Hellborn team, they're off to a little bit of a struggle. I mean, Mage Bane, I know it's very early on, still only 3 minutes in, but again, because of this dual lane especially, He's not getting the most creep farm here. It's top side.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt him a lot. BMG realized that it was going to be a solo Behe bot, and sending Doctor 1v1 is just no problem against the Behemoth, so it was definitely the right call to send the Torture up there, and it's going to get Mage Bane a lot of trouble, like it already has.
Yeah. You see he has that Iron Shield right here to help mitigate some kind of harassment damage, but yeah, you look at the lane control as well. I mean, Mage Bane's having to go pretty far up just to try to get last hits, and you see right there, as soon as he kind of does, these stuns come out, and he has to immediately start falling back. So, yeah, I mean, so where does the Hellborn team go with this? Obviously, it's going to eventually adapt here to the laning phase. Should Behemoth maybe look to be a little more aggressive here off the side? I know we have Suicide Behemoths that like to roam early. He's sitting down here for the time being, though.
Yeah, I think right now it's okay for him to sit down here and leech some XP, but I think they actually can kill this Midas relatively easy with the Magnus ulti that he'll have soon, and it'll be a good roam when they start getting kills on the Magnus.
Yeah, you see Magnus currently by himself in the middle lane, but because Midas back at base, getting the bottle, throwing some regen out, and is going to teleport back to the middle lane now and continue competing with him. So Magnus getting a little bit of free farm there. That's the good news again. 340 gold per minute now, so actually going up a bit. Top lane in the meantime, Torturer goes down actually. A huge kill for the Hellborn side. They've been kind of bullied around so far. But finally Cthulhu's able to get in there, kind of missed the initiation part, but was able to get a stun out, obviously. Get the kill on a Torturer, so good rotations coming out.
Yeah, it's a good kill. They needed something like that to happen, so well played by them.
You see middle right here. Parasite kind of having fun with Magnus. Throwing some taunts out, forcing him to go another direction. Actually, even Steam Beth disjoint the leash right there, so good heads up from Zephyronte, and staying alive at least. They saw Parasite coming in, so there's a Blood Chalice now, though, to Make, so he's got plenty of regen to work with here.
Yeah, he's having a really good time in the mid lane.
Is it a little overkill, you think, with the Blood Chalice and the bottle?
I think sometimes in the mid lane, I think it is. Sometimes you don't need it, but in a lot of cases, if you're this far ahead, it doesn't hurt you. It can only help you. It slows down the portal key a little bit, but it lets you harass a lot more.
Yeah, and obviously that's something Midas really would like to be able to use to its advantage here. You do see Behemoth eventually roaming as expected. Got the Striders, comes to the middle lane actually, but again, not really a place to set up for any kind of gank, so it's just going to eventually make its way back to the bottom lane, it looks like. In the meantime, Doctor, not that he wasn't already, but absolutely having free farm down here with the no one being in the lane. So we'll see if Behemoth can at least change that a little bit. But Valkyrie, speaking of long laners kind of rotating here, Valkyrie's starting to set up in the middle lane. He's probably waiting for a possible transmute from Midas, but you see Magnus, he's actually going to go for the bottom rune here, which he will be able to pick up. Happens to be Illusion, and he'll bottle that up. So Valkyrie, we'll see how patient Boxy is here. He's still going to stick around now. Oh, bottom lane though, Behemoth. Oh my god, he got the shockwave off, actually. We saw a lot of damage from that. But in the end, he still falls, but nice attempt, I guess. Oh, Magnus then barely lives too. Jeez.
Lives with like 10 HP. Yeah, barely got out of there.
Did a Valkyrie arrow hit by chance? Did you notice that?
I didn't get over there in time, but I would figure it would have. Well, no, it could have just been Midas transmute, but it did a lot of damage. I mean, he was at 10 HP.
Yeah. Almost setting up the kill. So coming up short though, Valkyrie. You know, Valkyrie's farm, it was decent here. I mean, Steam Boots already, you know, has a couple of stat item gains. He's going to find Rhapsody, actually. And, yeah, I was going to say, that's not going to be an easy arrow to hit with the distance there. Doesn't even try to go for it.
Yeah, and Boxy should know that now there's a ward over there, and that should get countered, but maybe he just didn't pay attention, but he should know it is there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, suspect that Rhapsody is like, what are you doing over here? Not many reasons to be here. I know BMG, again, obviously they're a pretty aggressive Valkyrie-picking team, but, you know, with picking up Valkyrie, one of our bigger strengths is that Valkyrie's Prism, the team ability there, and they use that quite frequently. It's not the easiest to use, though. You know, there is a lot of, you got to really coordinate. You got to make sure that nobody's obviously seen when you go to use it, or else it kind of defeats the whole purpose of it, for the offensive side of it, at least. So keep an eye out for that, though.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of a little curious why Teltuk isn't farming as much. I mean, all of his lanes are realistically winning without his help, other than the one gank he had bottom that was effective, but he's kind of just been running around a lot. He hasn't really been farming. So I'd like to see him just kind of stay in the jungle for a little while and get some levels.
Yeah, you even see Doctor coming in and taking some farm here, so I don't know if that's on intention. I mean, Baltazar even, yeah, he just takes all those creep kills, actually, from Parasite. I don't know if they're just competing for it or if that was the goal, but...
I'm just going to say poor Teltuk.
Yeah, I guess.
He just wants his farm and just can't quite get it.
Yeah. His talent build is definitely more of the, obviously, gank style. He does go level 3 in the leech here, sitting with 2 in Infest currently, so...
Yeah. And now he does have his ulti, so maybe look for him to start roaming a little bit more, but I would still like to see him get some farm in.
1,300 gold saved up. Would you expect anything else but a puzzle box here?
I'm kind of curious to see if he's a little afraid to get it because it's against the Cthulhu font, but he should still get it. It's still a really strong item.
Yeah, it does make it a tough call with the Cthulhu font. Of course, instantly can eat the creep and kind of ruins the purpose of it, but hey, forcing him to do that is also not a bad thing either way to look at it here, so...
Yeah, and he could also go for the, maybe like the more supportive build, maybe into the Abyssal, into the Astro, or, you know, something like that. There's a couple ways he can build it, but I think I'd still rather see the puzzle. But like you said, he is a team fighting, ganking jungler, so you never know.
And it is Tiltic.
Yes. Could still see the Shroud for all we know.
Yeah. Possible. Arcana picked up on Dr. Repulsor, so Baltazar going to be going more of the icon of the Hellflower route, but yeah, we do see top lane Valkyrie Prism coming out. Mageman is going to be caught by it. Rhapsody comes in with a Protective Melody. It saved the initial damage and no doubt saved Mageman in the end. She does die, but a big play in the end. Midas in trouble now, and Midas is actually going to fall in Mana Rift to secure that. What a turn. And that huge ulti. That is such that. I mean, that's the great thing about Protective Melody. You don't need a full channel of it. It's just simply even a second channel absolutely turned that fight around right there.
Yeah, definitely. Mageman was 100% dead there if that wasn't for that big play by Cyrox. And, well, more action.
It's going to continue, yeah. Behemoth gets picked off. Magnus goes in, but now he's in trouble. The Impalement, Parasite assisting with the Face Like a Legion. Now gets a Cone of Magnus and a Cthulhu Fawn. Also will fall. So the long run, actually, 3 kills happening in favor of Bad Monkey Gaming right there in that little skirmish. So what
just
happened?
Heavily overcommitted to a kill they thought they could get, and in those decisions, you need to just back off. Like they still knew there was 3 heroes up there at least, and it was just a team call. They thought they could pull it off, and they couldn't.
Magebane again is going to be fine as Rhapsody in the clutch comes in. So Rhapsody playing the absolute star support here, keeping the carry alive at least. But even with those efforts, I mean, you look at the gold really lead here. 5,300 gold lead, 3,500 experience lead here for Bad Monkey Gaming. Pretty hefty lead early on in the game. At about 11.5 minutes here.
Yeah, and it's only really a 5-kill hero difference, and that's mostly, I mean, a lot of it's off farming at this point. They're just that far ahead. And it's going to be a lot of trouble for Mageman once Doctor finishes the Hellflower, which I actually, as much as I do like saying Icon is really good on Doctor, the way their playstyle is this game, I'd like to see the Hellflower first.
To be able to
yeah, to just be able to pick off. Because he's a pretty free kill for Mageman.
So it's pretty powerful there. Yeah, middle lane. This is interesting.
Oh
my god. Wow. That could have been, if he just walked up and shockwaved randomly, obviously he wasn't going to do that, but that would have been something. Meanwhile, the fight breaks out now. There's the shockwave. It's a little more spread, Protective Melody in case. Really more so the Hellborn team was in control, though, as Torture gets picked off, and now Valkyrie, she is going to TP away. So it does get all 5 of them, essentially, to kind of come to the middle and only get a kill on Torture. That's where you can look for BMG and be like, I guess that really wasn't too bad, but at least 2-0 only loses, or doesn't lose anyone.
Yeah, that's true. And they do get a kill, which is a pretty valuable kill just in general for them. They just need some. Now, it would have been very different if Behemoth ulti just straight into those trees. That could have been a very different fight. Parasite picked up a Arcana.
It's Celtic.
Which makes you think he's going to go Hellflower as well? I hope.
That or Spell Shards, even.
That or even a Resto Stone.
Oh, God, no.
I never know with Celtic. It's so hard to tell.
Yeah, I'm becoming more and more aware that he's a very interesting player. He's one of these guys that, again, I know he's kind of been around for a while, but we haven't done a whole lot of coverage of it because I don't know if he's ever necessarily been on a really popular top-tier team before, at least in the competitive launch scene. So this is kind of the first stay at that, I think you could honestly safely say, of Bad Monkey Gaming here. And maybe this is always the way that he's played, but I gotta say, I'm just kind of realizing this myself, is that, yeah, he's just one of those players. I kind of do my own thing, somewhat Zibe-esque. He's known for also going his own builds, no matter how odd it may seem at times.
Yeah, and in this game, if he actually does go for the Hellflower, it's not a bad item because they need the lockdown. And once again, if they catch Behe or a Magnus before his ulti's in, the team fight's just going to be won by them. So it could quite possibly be a good pickup. Ooh, bottom lane.
Yep, free kill on a Behemoth there. It is interesting, again, yesterday, it wasn't even Teltec. We actually saw another Parasite player in the Time to Win tournament go the Assassin Shroud, but You know, also ended up getting a full demonic breastplate on top of that. He had an abyssal skull. Like, he built a very hefty right-click kind of parasite. And, I mean, the draining venom ability does allow parasite to, realistically, it actually is something that it could be decent. It's not like the worst thing ever to go something like that. So, I mean, there is the synergy there with the skill set in that sense, so.
Yeah, definitely, and it's just not the. I mean, it's just an odd build, but I mean, if it works because it catches people off guard, then it's a good build.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to say good build, but I mean, it's a scare factor. Like, people just don't expect it. Oh, top lane.
Yeah, Valkyrie's actually having fun with Mage Bane here, and fun is in the sense of getting a kill. Yeah, the assistance of Midas. He landed the arrow first. Now it might come at a cost, though, but here comes more support. The Shockwave does secure it, but Dr. Repulsor even flies in. Protective Melody immediately cancel that time. And the chase continues even further on in Magnus. Double tap for Balthazar. They get 4 hero kills in total, only exchanging Valkyrie right here. Behemoth is going to be able to make it out, but the movement continues. I mean, already seeing that Hellflower on Dr. Repulsor is pretty ridiculous. And knowing that a second one's already coming on Parasite, I mean, that really is something. We're only 16 minutes into the game, and they're going to have 2 Hellflowers in another minute here.
Yeah, and they're gonna have a lot of lockdown in these early game team fights where there's not too many Shrunkins. So it's getting a little scarier for the Hellborn. They really need to put some good defensive wards up and just keep Magebane safe and just let him farm. They have tripled Ancients. Maybe they should go as 2 heroes, maybe take those with the Magnus or something. Just get him farm and keep him away from the other team.
Yeah. Get the portal keys here. Obviously going to be pretty high priority, I'm sure. Magnus goes to the middle lane. He has about 1,500 gold saved up now. You see Behemoth at the top side, more so just trying to hold them off this top tower. With Cthulhu-Font, who happens to be nearby. Cthulhu-Font, though, on the run. As Boxy just simply pounding at some auto attacks. He does have a quick blade here. I think Boxy may like to go the Nullfire Blade, actually. I wouldn't be surprised to see that here. Kind of just a solid item in general, I feel like. And he might have watched Zlap's Snowfire Blade guide recently, so. No, shout out to Zlap there.
Yeah, of course. Always shout out to Zlap. Oh, top lane. Oh.
Gonna be fine for now. She's a lot of damage, actually, but. Oh, now here comes a turn. They see him just chilling up here. They're like, okay, he couldn't have gone anywhere else.
Oh, Cthulhu just runs in the trees.
Oh! That distance.
An inch more, and oh, this is
I
getting
feel
a little out of hand at this point.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't left the top lane yet with the camera, and that's for good reason. Mage Bane is going to fall to double Tavern Balthazar again. Oh boy, yeah. With that happening, I mean, Mage Bane should not be looking to pick fights here. I think that's kind of a crucial issue too for the Hellborn team. I mean, obviously there's a lot more to it as they just absolutely clean up even Genocide. All right, I mean, this game now is kind of out of hand after that fight right there. But
I mean, it's just, yeah. I think they kind of just. I think they thought they weren't as far behind as they really were, and they thought they could take a fight. But now they're just taking it too much, and just any possible chance of them coming back is pretty slim at this point.
Yeah, them trying to pick these fights, again, goes back to not even Mage Bane, Magnus, Behemoth. Like, why are they trying to get involved in fights here? It's one thing to constantly get caught, but I feel like, again, they're porting up here. Like, they're roaming through the jungle knowing that the Legion team is there, really. Trying to find kills. And yeah, now middle lane is going to continue. Magnus goes down. I mean, Magnus at a point had like 1,700 gold, and now he's down to 1,300 a couple deaths later. So it's just not going to work here for 2-0 at this rate.
Yeah, they're kind of just walking out of their base at this point and just dying wherever they go. So they're kind of just being suffocated now, farther or closer into their base, and they're going to be able to get really deep wards up here by BMG, and 2-0 just needs, if they want to try to win this game, they just need to avoid as much as they can.
You do see down here, Midas, that's an illusion. Okay. Keeping them occupied. Middle tower, secondary, impalements out. Gonna set up the easy tower kill. Telta comes in and snipes it with the Hell Cannon. You do see the triple stack Ancients here again. Mage Bane doing them and trying to clear them up here, but oh boy, he's on the run.
Should be okay. Should be okay.
Yeah, he should be okay, but he's gonna lose his Ancients now. So it's like,
yeah,
he survived, sure, but
oh, he's not gonna be okay. Oh, just pop out Hellflower. What are you doing?
No! He tried to Yeah.
Teltec!
If he just Hellflowers there, that's a kill. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Teltec. I still love him, though.
Yeah. Just kind of say that. It's just like, oh, it's just Teltec. Reminds me of actually a player I only seen a long time ago, Fresh Pro.
Oh, jeez.
That kind of player, you know, kind of just did his own thing with the build, and we kind of use that term just like, you know what, it's Fresh Pro. Why even try to bother explaining it?
I think the new one is we're gonna have to change it to Teltec pretty soon.
Yeah. Valk does end up going Nullfire Blade. No, but seriously though, like Nullfire Blade, what is your opinion on the item as they're going to use it right here to pick off Behemoth? Oh, what a line stun actually from Cthulhu Fog, going for some turn. Okay, they get a 2-for-1 actually, but it's not over yet. Dr. Repulsion now flies, and he has a Null Stone now that he managed to pick up. Eruption, Doctor's like, I'm just going to go out of range of it. Well, kind of. He actually takes a good amount of damage from it still, but he ends up turning for the kill anyways. Double tap for Proxy, and just more advantage for the Legion side. Obviously, Mage Baiting even going down at the top lane during all of that. It's, yeah, we're definitely at a point now. It's 2-0. It's game 2 is looking pretty appealing, but going to the Nullfire Blade, though, what do you think of the item in general? And should we see it more? I mean,
I do believe so. I do think the item has its purposes. I mean, there's a lot of heroes it counters. Like, the one that comes to mind, speaking of, is Deadlift, is you can actually cleanse off the root that he does. So, I mean, I think the item has its uses. It just kind of needs to be in the right game.
Yeah. For me, I find it really interesting that a deterrent for reasons the Nazi. It's kind of a supportish item, you could almost call it, because of like that purge effect where, you know, purging off those debuffs or, you know, helping to slow somebody to then catch up to them to kill them. And so it's like you want to be able to build on some supportish kind of heroes, but it's not really a build up to a support friendly item, you know, with the agility build up of the quick blades, so that's a deterrent to get. And then, yeah, the agility heroes are more so usually more that carry bound kind of style, and they may not tend to pick it up as a result of that. You know, Valkyrie, you know, Nighthound's another hero that comes to mind. There's a couple out there where it's like, okay, you can consider it kind of core almost, but everyone else, it's not really, you know, up there on that item tier list. So I would be curious to kind of feel like a rework of the item to like the build-up of it could be interesting.
Yeah.
To try to get that purge idea to be more popular, but
Definitely. That's not a bad idea. And really, like you said, there's a couple heroes, and the one that comes to my mind is very situational, but on Tremble. I think it's a very strong item.
oh yeah, a double attack, yeah.
Problem is we just never see Tremble.
Yeah, well,
the hero might need that
Yeah.
hero, along with the Nullfire, might need some reworks.
that's for sure. Bottom lane, Doctor's just pushing it in. Already has an Acolyte Staff even. I assume that's going to be a Sheepstick, but it's the massive mana item here first. I mean, yeah, we could just talk constantly. Every time we look at the inventories of the Legion side, it feels like something else newer, bigger is coming out. I mean, the Portal Key on Teltec here playing the Parasite, so has that to come with the Hellflower. The Sheepstick as well for Midas, actually, is now just around the corner.
Yeah.
Can't really do the same thing for the Hellborn team. I mean, they got their portal keys now. The fact that Behemoth even got his before Magnus is just, and Cthulhu for that matter, is just pretty shocking to me. But I guess Magnus, again, he's just died several times now. Hasn't been able to get it yet.
Yeah. And he's just, even at this point, even a base fight, even on high ground, I don't even know if they could win a fight unless they all 5 stack on top of each other perfectly. It's just very slim at this point, but I mean, if they can get a good initiation off on the 5 heroes, I mean, there is a chance for them to win the team fight like there is in any game with those heroes.
Absolutely, yeah. Get the Portakey on Magnus, and they all have their level 2 ultimates too. Yeah, so I mean, there definitely is a potential to win a big team fight here and then work off of that. But man, it's, I guess now that I'm looking at the lead again, though, it's 23,500 golden experience lead for Badmaka Gaming at 24 minutes in. They're only going to have one chance, essentially, to make something happen here, basically. So make it a good one if you're 2-0.
Yeah, and they might as well try at this point. I mean, they kind of waited this long for their portal keys. They might as well give it one shot.
Oop. Pause
Alrighty.
out here first. So yeah, we'll see if they're able to make it work here or not. I mean, the Shrunken Head on Magebane is Going to be a solid pickup to have in an upcoming team fight too. So he's getting there. He has the mighty blade, another 1,700 gold saved up. So around 1,200 or so that he needs to finish that up here. And that'll be a good item to have going into it. But yeah, going to have to deal with a couple of sheep sticks most likely at the same time. That'll be good for jumping you with. Let's take a look.
Yeah. And the portal key on Parasite as well. Didn't even mention that. He just picked that up.
Yeah, that's what he goes with the Hellflower. You know, again, just a good combo of items to have, really. Looking at the other series right here, Complexity versus Mystery Gang, and Mystery Gang actually looking honestly pretty good in that one. they're up early.
Yeah.
About 26 minutes here, so.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't. Oh. Complexity didn't drop that. I don't know. I don't like when they pick that second support, but Mystery Gang is a strong team. I mean, I think we've been seeing that a little bit. I mean, they are new, so they kind of are that team to. Oh.
What just happened? I've never seen that before. He just got straight up canceled from the game.
What?
Like,
okay.
That's pretty funny, but at the same time, it's like, okay, what do we do now? I mean, a team is up 24,000 golden experience. Obviously, they're in a very easy spot to win this game. Yeah, I don't know. What do we do here?
Hey, Glenn?
That's really weird because the only reason I feel like that would happen is I know there's like if somebody tries to log in onto an account from like a different IP or something like that. But yeah, no, he just simply DC just reconnecting and never happened before. There is an admin. I thought there was one in this game here. I'll try to also get a. I mean, they have the contact, so.
Because I mean, this would be really awkward for the Legion team because.
That's their carry too. Like
they could easily lose the game because of that if they had to play this out. And I mean, looking at the gold lead here, it's I don't know.
Yeah, no, this is going to be interesting. There is an admin here, it looks like, so they're going to try to figure this out. So, all right. So what we're going to do? We're going to take a short break right here as well. We'll try to see what the hell is going to happen here. And we'll be right back, guys. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Check out the other stream for now. Again, I mentioned just another streamer. He's also casting the other series we're casting. But we'll come back to this one, figure out what's going to happen here for game number 1. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be back.
An atom splits to create a distraction, and every single is a counterfeit, a misdirection. And baby, I wait forever to find you, and I change, but never to blind you. Stop the hands of time. I'll stop the hands of time. I'll stop the hands of time. I'll stop the hands of I'll stop the hands of
All right, so we're coming back here. Here we are. So just an update as far as what's going on. The server even unpaused it. They paused it, of course, after that. But so it was decided after a little bit there. The admin made the ruling that they're going to have to continue on 4 versus 5. I guess there was something with with again the internet crashing when it restarted. I don't know if it was the IP change or whatever it was. I mean, obviously something caused the hero to get terminated, but to simply put, it was decided that they have to continue on 4 versus 5. So I mean that's just basically where it stands. We are waiting for one player to get back on the Hellborn side. Actually, they were already ready to go, but I guess somebody at using the restroom or whatever. So, but now the interesting thing to point out about this is we have a case of Dr. Repulsor. So, for those that may not have been joining us, Dr. Repulsor got terminated from the game. BMG is up 23,000 gold in experience here. Now, so they have a hefty lead. Obviously, losing a hero, especially what in essence is your main carry, is definitely a very, very unfortunate thing and will hurt them. But as far as the positive outlooks, trying to make things positive at least, they do have all those items. They're in the well, so the Hellflower, the Nullstone, and I think in this case you can use those between Torture and Valkyrie even. So this is going to be interesting, to say the least, how this turns out now with this.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Good news, they have a secondary carry in Valkyrie
Yeah.
who actually could take both those items and be fine with it. So, I guess we'll just see. Foxy's going to go back to base right now and see what he picks up.
This is definitely one of the most unique situations I've ever
Yeah.
been a part of.
So takes both.
Yeah. Been casting this game for over 5 years now, and can't say I've really ever experienced something like this where that actually happened. But again, yeah, the game must move on, says the admin, so that's where we're at here. Again, obviously we're at a spot, no matter what the ruling is, there is going to be controversy. There's going to be, the idea of oh, well, how is that fair? But it's some ruling has to be made, and that was the ruling that was made. So I will say it's not an easy task being an admin, especially in cases like this, and again, you just got to make a call. So that was the call, and here we go. Moving on. So as you mentioned, it looks like, Boxy, he did pick up, so he picked up the Hellflower and the Nullstone.
And Midas took the Acolyte staff that he already had on Doctor, so he finished his Sheepstick.
Oh, okay.
And then instantly bought a Shrunken.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah, not actually too bad.
Yeah, no, this game is still very, very, very winnable for BMG. I mean, they should. You could argue at the lead that they have, and with getting those items, and you could even argue that they should still win this game. But
Yeah.
it's obviously it's a downer at the same time. I mean, it would be understandable if it's a lot more of an opening now for 2-0 to actually realistically come back in this game. I guess is the ultimate point there of where it stands.
Yeah, definitely true. It's all right. BMG were season 3 champions, so
Yeah, prove yourself.
They can pull through.
Okay, so they're going to do Conqueror here, and I'm guessing, Valkyrie is going to pick this up, so just see if it gets that much better, actually, for Bad Monkey Game. And again, you look at where 2-0's at. The biggest thing we were talking about before all that drama happened right there was that they had just got the 3rd portal key. They do have level 2 ultimates. I mean, there is a possibility that, they can land some big ultimates together and actually win a pretty big fight right here. The Shrunken Head finished on Mage Bane. Now, I will say it's all upfront damage. I mean, once that initial upfront initiation burst happens, especially with Mage Bane, not being the most farmed yet, if they don't get the kills and win it early, then they're not going to win this fight here. So that's what it's going to come down to. I think it's safe to say. As we do have another pause here, strat pause,
Or a counter DC.
Yeah, right.
Could see 2 terminations in one game.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be their chance for the Hellborn. I mean, to come back, I guess, in some way, shape, or form. Big ulti at the base fight. Mm-hmm. Really, in reality, the Legion team's going to have a hard time breaking base because they don't have the most range other than Valkyrie.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to be a little bit careful. Best case scenario is they pick a fight outside the base and they win it. Then they can go push base, but just heavily going straight into base will be pretty hard for them.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of curious. Are you not giving any of that to, say, the Torturer, especially? Do you think that actually made sense to not give maybe the Nullstone or something like that? Or you might as well stack these 2 heroes instead?
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe if Valkyrie drops the Null Stone, it's still usable by everyone. Or am I wrong?
I think you're wrong on that. I believe it's a case where it's unclaimed until it's picked up, and then
Okay.
it will be
And then
claimed.
it becomes claimed?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, because I was wondering, if that's the case, then he uses it until he gets another item and then
Yeah.
gives it to Torture. But yeah, okay. So if that's the case, then I think they just want everything onto Boxy and Midas. I think they're just gonna have the two cores and just have them hopefully do all the damage, and just have Torture maybe survive as long as he can, or even Suicide in with his impalement just to get the damage off.
Yeah. Well, I give it to those heroes instead. Again, you do see, I mean, it is only 27 minutes in to see a Valkyrie now, the Hellflower, a Nullifier Blade. I assume that's level 2, by the way. Yeah, it is level 2, that Null Stone. Yeah, I mean, he is hitting pretty damn hard, and he's got some nice utility thrown in there. Then, of course, Midas.
His items at 25 minutes look incredibly scary at this
Yeah.
point.
No, pretty damn good here. So, unfortunately, we do have, again, kind of another pause not helping things. But, yeah, as you mentioned, the breaking isn't necessarily going to be a guaranteed easy task here. But, of course, having the token on Valkyrie here will ideally try to give them that better shot. And now, again, this isn't the tankiest team. This isn't a team that has the obvious upfront heroes you're pointing. So, that's where it is going to be a little awkward as far as pushing into the base right now. Hell, even with the Doctor, that kind of was the case. Instead, they relied just more on the quick jump factor, which, again, they still have, with the Midas, especially with that Sheepstick now. Parasite, of course, with his portal key jump, so there's still that potential, definitely. But, yeah, they're going to need that upfront damage as the Hellborn side here, for sure. So I wonder if Midas, what target are you looking for if you're Midas, would you say? Is there an obvious hero that you're maybe looking to jump here?
If he can get the Behemoth or the Magnus before they jump with a Sheepstick, that'd be best case scenario. If one of those gets canceled, they're losing a lot of damage. So yeah, I would look for him to go for the Behe or the Magnus. But they also have a Parasite, so I mean they could potentially cancel both their big ultis.
Yeah.
And then that would just, right then and there would just be the team fight.
Yeah. I see Baltazar in the Twitch chat rooting on his team. It's good to see that they're a little bit lighthearted with this. I mean, it would be understandable if they were showing a little more emotion as Barb's being frustrated and stuff. Because yeah, it's tough. It's no one's fault here. It's just simply the game bugged out and it got terminated. So, but they're having fun with it. I will say, not that every game isn't an important game in the sense. I mean, this is just one game of 14 games here in the group stages that you play. So there's that. Like if this was the grand finals or even like a playoff game, maybe there would be a little bit more tension. But yeah, it is just the group stages, so there is that way to look at it as well. It's maybe not the hugest.
And like you said earlier, there's still a pretty good chance they can win this game 4v5. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if that's the case, they end up winning, then that's great. And yeah, because I mean, in reality, it sounds kind of mean, but I mean, they did deserve this win. They played very well
Oh yeah.
to even get into this position. So yeah, I am rooting for them.
Yeah, no, that's I think a lot of people in the admin, and it's like let's just kind of hope BMG wins just for the sake of like making this okay. At least they won in the end. But all right, we'll see. Here we go, coming out of the pause here. This is going to be an interesting hold, to say the least. You got BMG. Oh, look at Midas, man. He's getting really up there. Are they even going to try to? They're kind of falling back elsewhere, so I guess they're really not pushing into the base just yet.
Yeah, and Make got that ward up, so they're going to have vision of most likely. Oh, Magnus is still rotted. Okay.
Yeah.
So they might only be able to cancel the Behemoth here.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen the strategy a lot where people defending their base, heroes like the Magnus, the Behemoth, the Initiators, they'll get that Veiled Rot, and they'll sit in the back because, yeah, exactly for this reason here. I mean, Midas doesn't have that jump anymore, off to the side himself. So it's actually, yeah, it is a very, very effective strategy to do here. Rhapsody? No, they're going to go for a kinda. Again, they're not going all out. Valkyrie goes in a couple of auto attacks. Gets the kill. Magnus coming in with the eruption, but Valkyrie leaps away. Going to be fine. She does have that token, remember. Mage Bane now joins the party. The Hellfire, though. Magnus is dropping. Midas now is finally coming in, but Torture is picked off in the background. Midas doing a bit of work. Parasite, he's trying to assist where he can. Behemoth goes down, and 3 heroes are dead on the Hellborn side. So now here goes the tower push. Yeah, we do see Bad Monkey Gaming. They do come out on top of this fight. Are they going to be able to get the tower, though? It doesn't look like it. Mage Bane and Cthulhuphon are apparently scary enough. I don't know if it should be, though. I mean, they're pretty far ahead even with these three.
Yeah, okay. They're just going to walk up. Yeah, okay, there you go.
Cthulhuphon will just simply try to harass them, but...
Might be dead for that.
Ooh!
Touch hero, okay.
Gonna get the racks, though? I think so, actually.
Yeah, they should be able to. He's trying to eat the Hell Cannon.
Oh, there goes Cthulhuphon now. Mage Bane does jump in the background. Midas, the Mana Rift will destroy him, actually. So well played by Squirry there. At least gets the one kill. Cthulhuphon bought back. And here we go. Somebody was post-tasting it, I believe. Yeah, he bought back. He tried to post-taste. But the creep got destroyed, and now Valkyrie, he's on the run. So that was a huge kill of that creep right there. She's going to get stunned. Can she get the leap off? No, she cannot. And Valkyrie will end up falling. So they do get the melee racks. But now going to have to run the hell on out of here as Parasite continues to try to run in the creep now. I don't think he's getting out. He, too, will fall. A Bound Eye, actually, is going to be destroyed on top of that. So they do push them out, and there was only the one buyback on Cthulhuphon, actually, for 2-0. But they do lose the racks.
Yeah, they do lose the racks, and I think that's kind of the big thing for BMG at this point. Just having one lane heavily pushing in can just help them go push top lane now, and they can kind of get this, you know, while the bot lane's pushing in, we can go top and start pushing. So maybe turn it into a 4v4 fight because someone has to be defending.
Yeah.
And Boxy has 5.3k gold already.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he wants, in all honesty. I would think the Shrunken Head would be a good buy here, but I also think a Wing Book would be pretty helpful.
Yeah, there's no chance of Mage Bane getting a Savage Mace really anytime shortly, at least. So there's that way to look at it for sure. I will say again, a lot of the damage is more up front, and if he's looking for it to the defensive tool, definitely the Shrunken Head would be the better route. But oh wow, Orego's Ice Brand.
Huh. Okay.
Skull.
Yeah. Okay. So I do agree with that. He kind of said the same thing you did. He needs the HP, but he's also could die to a Mage Bane, and just going full bulky is could be the right decision here. So I do like it. I expect him to go the Frostwolf Geos.
All right, so saving up the gold here to eventually get that Frostwolf. You do see Parasite working towards the Soul's Bulwark for the team. Torture, so yeah, he was the one that actually got post-haste, so it might have been his. I think it was just both. Midas and Torture were trying to TP back in, and obviously that would have been big if they were, because yeah, that wouldn't have ended as it did, I feel, but killing that creep, preventing them from TPing in with the post-haste, actually really allowed them to chase out the remaining BMG players.
Whoa.
Get the kills. What was that?
Did Midas just right-click a full Frostwolf?
Did he?
I kid you not. I just saw the Frostwolf icon pop up.
I mean,
I don't think
no
he had that
way.
much gold.
Yeah,
I don't think so. Huh.
Let's see what comes to him right here. But yeah, there's no way he has a full Frostwolf, because he even bought back there. Okay, avoid Talisman, yeah. So it was
Game just
Valkyrie.
lied to me pretty heavily.
Yeah. Oh, you know what it is? Okay, so when a player does get DC'd, as rare as it is, it does screw up the UI a little bit. So it was probably that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that until you mentioned it. Like Make's stats right now, I don't know if he's actually 513 gold per minute. I think that might have been Doctor's, but or maybe it is his. But yeah, I know it does get kind of screwed up depending on who got terminated or whatever. So that's that is a thing. So yeah, don't always wait till to get to the inventory, I guess.
I guess so, yeah. No more calling out items.
Yeah.
The Frostwolf's pretty expensive.
Yeah. Well, avoid Talisman at least, but there is the Frosted Skull again on Valkyrie, so that's that. Now they're gonna go to the top lane. They, obviously at the same time, BMG has big of a lead they even still have. They know, especially now with the circumstances. I mean, hell, even if it was with the Doctor, granted, again, things would be different, but Mage Bane is always going to be a very scary late-game threat, of course. So they know that they can't let this game just last forever here, of course. So They're going to push the top now as soon as possible. Oh, Valkyrie gets jumped here pretty quickly. Actually, that shockwave is going to miss, though. He was able to leap away. That was big. And now here comes the turn. The Prism even used. Down goes Cthulhu Font in response. Midas trying to get a catch, but he can't do so. And they will have to fall back now. But Cthulhu Font, he does have a buyback if it comes to it. Be his final one here. Should they be trying to push, as you think, without maybe a token attempt or Kongor?
I think in kind of a weird way, they're kind of on a time clock here.
Yeah.
If Mageman gets too out of hand, they will end up losing. So I think this is the right decision, but there's going to be a fight.
Cthulhu Font, bot back, jump back in, dies immediately. Meanwhile, Midas is caught, but he's going to survive initially. He pops the Shrunken Head, and now Mageman trying to run Behemoth. He's going to end up going down. Midas comes back in. Mageman does blink away, but Midas stands his ground and cleaning up here with the rest of the team. Torture did end up falling. There's the Mana Rift to finish off Midas. Mageman, oh my god, he'll barely live. He's going to get back to the well. The team support kicks in. They dove a little too much trying to make it happen. But you do see Midas coming back in with the buyback. And this time, the post-haste TP, it is successful. So they're going to get another melee racks right here. And the lead will now even be further for this Legion side. As they're now leaping away, though. Going back in on the Magebane. Nope, they want to kill Behemoth first. Magebane sitting on sitting on Valkyrie in the meantime. Doesn't have that Mana Rift, though. Valkyrie's going to kite the best that he can, which is pretty effectively. Look at the Hellflower coming out. And now Magebane, he's in a lot of trouble himself. Yep, he's going to be able to blink the other way, actually. And ultimately get away there. So Magebane is doing a good job of actually living here in these fights. But another Rax destroyed means now we're definitely getting to a point of, even though it's 4 versus 5, BMG is in a very good spot here now.
Yeah, they should be relatively okay at this point. They can kind of, now at this point, they can kind of just watch both their lanes push in and just kind of slow push. Even they can kind of wait for the token if they want to. There's a lot of things they can do. They can try to wait for a pick-off when Mageman goes out of the base.
Speaking of that, Midas middle lane. Nope, he's going to fall back. Yeah, I do apologize there. I had switched the overlay because we were talking about possibly jumping into the other series with all the pause happening, but at that same time we ended up coming back into this one because it was resuming, so I just updated it again. This is obviously BMG versus 2-0 here in this series, so. And yes, it is a 4 versus 5. So your eyes do not deceive you here. Fortunately, Baltazar and Dr. Repulsor ended up getting terminated from the game. Had an internet issue, tried to reconnect, and game just went funky. But resuming on 4 versus 5, already had a massive lead here, so it's even bigger now. You do see Magebane, though, Brutalizer now picked up, so he's got some nice damage threats, some good lockdown here that he's going to be able to provide at least.
Yeah. And another 4.3k saved up by the Midas. He is almost 600 GPM. Wow.
I think. Again,
oh, yeah, that's right. It's still skewed.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think so, because he does have a lot of items.
Yeah, and it is going up. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. He is out of buyback, so that I can confirm.
That's true. That's true. He did buy back.
Yep.
How does he have so much gold?
That's what I'm saying. That's why it feels a little off. But
Okay. Well, we're just going to go with it.
He's got a Frosto Skull, too.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Or Frosto play, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a Frosto Skull. Middle lane through the font. He's dead again. He's staying dead this time. So now it is a 4 versus 4. Could say here. Hellborn team is going to have to definitely play defensively yet again. Behemoth. Yeah, last fight he wasn't able to get up a good shockwave. He is a level 3 shockwave here.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough fight without the Tulifon. And, ooh, okay. Yeah. I mean, even on entire creep waves, Behemoth doesn't want to ulti, so I don't know. They're just going to keep slowly bringing the base down. Oh.
Yeah. Nice sheepstick right there. There's Behemoth in the background, catches Torture, really. Projectile Melody will help save Magebane in the meantime. Behemoth does, though, get picked off. You see Valkyrie kiting away from Magebane, and now Magebane, he's in trouble. He is going to run, though, will be fine. Magnus gets bursted down yet again. The defensive tower, it's practically dead right here. Just they could walk up to it and it would fall.
Just by looking at it.
There we go. Creeps take care of it. And there we go. It is going to be about to see what I was going to say. I mean, I think now it is obviously a loss here. So, yeah, they again, you can't blame 2-0. It was the admin's decision to make the call. And again, it was a tough call in the end. Somebody had to make it. They did, and said play on 4 versus 5. And yeah, it's scary for BMG, understandably, but they did have a massive lead. They were able to get the items, and clearly with that advantage still, it was more than enough to come through. So, yeah, a little awkward game there for a little bit, but Bad Monkey Gaming, the team that was deserving and so far ahead, does come through in the end. So hopefully that's not something we'll have to worry about moving forward here. Again, I think that's just one of those 1 in a million things that just randomly happens in the game. So, final thoughts on the game that we did have here?
Just good for BMG for being able to win that game. Kind of 2-0 needs to be a little bit more careful about how they play their lanes because they basically lost right in the beginning. So hopefully they just play a little bit safer next game, maybe draft a little more comfort and win the next one.
All right, so here we go. Game number 2 going to be coming up now. Yep, Bad Monkey Gaming, they take the first game. And again, this is just a 2-game series, this being the group stages here. So, ladies and gentlemen,